Welcome back from that short break, everybody. My name is Semler, and with me now is Henry G.
Hello, sir.
What's up, bro? You doing good?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm glad that you're here now. We're going to be doing a bit of, a bit of commentary, obviously. We're going to be kicking off Group D here on the B stream. It's going to be Virtus.Pro versus Immunity. We talked a little bit about that, going into the break, but now I get to hear your thoughts on the matchup. Start us off.
It's a difficult one. I'd say Immunity here, arguably the weakest team at the event, without being offensive, I think
that's pretty clear.
And then Virtus.Pro, obviously, they've bounced back recently. The change in formation for the team, they've had some lineup changes, not in terms of new players, but switching the roles around quite a lot as well. So we see Neo with the AWP now, Pasha more of the AK style, and it seems like Taz has taken the helm on the tactical side as well. So they're looking very strong, actually. After their performance at Cbble as well, winning that event, it's kind of their resurrection. It felt like they actually found some form and got back into the driving seat in CSGO.
Now, do you think that they're like one of those real threats, though, to be able to make it deep into the tournament, Virtus.Pro?
It's yet to be seen. This game's going to be interesting to see what kind of form they're in right now and see. The thing about Virtus.Pro going into this, they've got such a strong map pool, and teams like Immunity, they should be wiping the floor with. That's if you're being objective and looking at this as the game as a whole. This should be a very good warm-up for them. Get used to the playing conditions, the tables, and see how they feel.
I almost want to say, get ready for the real battle that's going to be coming up next.
Yeah, not to take anything away from Immunity. I haven't casted them that much, but from what I have seen, it hasn't been very impressive. They're always the team that can potentially get 10 rounds against someone good, but they don't seem to be closing out a lot of games.
Yeah, that's the tough thing, is that the last time that we really got to see them play, I think, was DreamHack Tour, and they just got demolished.
Demolished.
Yeah, it's a tough thing, and they themselves, have come to this tournament just saying, we're actually really happy to be here, just so we can get more experience, right?
That's the whole thing. This is why CS:GO is in such a great state right now. We're having these different regions starting to develop great teams. We have Renegades from the Oceanic region. Now we have Immunity as well. Obviously, coming to these events, that's what it's all about. It's getting the experience, learning how to play against the best teams in the world. You're never going to get better than just smashing the same people over and over again in your region. You need to come here and get this experience, and what a better place to do it at the major events. So definitely a team to look out for. They have got some great talent there, but I don't think they're ready for this kind of scale of tournament yet. No one's really expecting them to get further than the group stages, unfortunately for them. But hopefully they can bring something interesting to the table. If they get a map in their favour, they've got some new ideas, can kind of surprise VP a little bit perhaps. But ultimately, the best result I can see for them is getting into double figures, and then they will just slip away. But
yeah, that's kind of what we were talking about as well. How long before Renegades, then Vox Seminor, right, were really started to become a threat? How many times did they have to go to a major? They have a few majors under their belt, but also travel to international lands.
But the thing about Renegades is they actually were taking maps off people.
Well, not back then.
Well,
it's been a long time coming, right? First year maybe they would show up to lands and same thing, right? Just kind of get slapped around. But then they also learned from that very quickly. The question is whether Immunity are going to be able to start really picking up from that. There's such a wealth of information now as well, as far as all these streams, all these LAN events to take info from. You can just go to the stream, watch, learn pretty quickly. I think it's a question of whether Immunity, it's more the atmosphere of a major. I think that's what they really need to figure out, because they're going to be sitting down. It's a totally different beast.
The problem about a major as well, so even in the group stages, you haven't got any easy games. There's no games that you can kind of get warmed up and think, okay, we're in the zone now. You're going first up, VP, and there they are on the screen now, ice cold killers, because we know how much they love playing against teams like this. So I think I last casted them out in at Cbble, and they looked really tight there. They found a new play style. They're playing very aggressively, and as soon as they get the ball rolling, and Pasha is on firing all cylinders. His AK work has been phenomenal recently. It's so scary, especially on the T side, on maps like Train, when he can run out into open spaces and just find CTs to kill. He doesn't seem to be missing any shots right now. So he's a real instrumental member of VP. And whether Immunity have the players to lock down monsters like that, I'm not so sure. Especially with the AWP style Neos has right now. He's not like the flashiest AWPer in the world, but he hits the shots that count. He's very defensive. Make sure he hits 1 or 2 each round, and it's a very difficult force to shut down. So yeah, obviously the maps may play some sort of factor here, but ultimately I don't see what world we'd be living in if Immunity took this one.
Yeah, that's the tough thing, the real tough thing. Right now, actually, on your screen, apparently we have some tech issues going on, and so it's such that we actually brought in a Valve dev to sort that out, because that's Vitaly.
That's the ultimate engineer you can call in, right?
The ultimate beast, basically. And so Alexander Nair, he's a head admin, project manager, etc. for ESL, so he's on top of it with Vitaly. Both of them key players here in this tournament, making everything run. But yeah, actually, that's a bit concerning if a Valve dev has to come in to step in.
It's been a really smooth tournament so far. We haven't had any issues whatsoever. So this delay, I think it's not going to matter too much in the grand scheme of things, considering the game we have coming up. So this may just be a small technical issue. It seems like there's one player's PC. The rest of the guys are fine. There's just one PC we're trying to jump onto the server right now. But let's just have a talk about the maps quickly. We've got, obviously, all 7 available, but where could Immunity potentially find some ground here? Just having a look at their previous results, the last reasonable result they got was they played Renegades. They lost 16-9. That was on Cash. And before that as well, Dire Wolves. It seems like a Cash is a map they like to play quite a lot. But like I said before, it doesn't really matter. Like VP are one of the best Cash sides in the world if you take away the last couple of months when they lost 16-0 to Kingwin. They have a really strong Cash, and especially against a team like Immunity. I don't think they'll be scared of playing any maps on the board. They probably just want to be vetoing more of the exotic stuff, just to eliminate that wild card and just play the classics and utilize their aim and teamwork and just shut the game down like that.
Yeah, if you're VP, you're probably thinking, okay, just take out like Dust 2 and Cbble or something like that, right? Maybe not Cbble in Virtus.Pro's case, because they are like a fairly decent Cbble team. But
well, like they're kind of hit or miss in that map, I feel. Like, do you remember that G-Finity we casted together when they got run over like 16-2 by Fnatic?
Which was so weird as well, considering like just a couple months before that, Virtus.Pro were a team to be feared on Cbble.
Yeah.
So they just kind of slipped away from that. But that's something that they should have been aware of as well, and that they should be looking to rectify coming into a major like this, where we're on the desk talking about how these teams need to be solid on 6 maps at least, right? If not all 7. I mean, it's a huge task on their hands.
Especially when you living in the Oceanic region, and it's very hard to gauge as to how effective your strategies are being implemented and stuff like that.
And that's one thing we need to mention as well, the fact that, Immunity are coming from the Oceanic region, Australian team, but also that they don't feel like they've had the best practice going into this.
It's hard.
They haven't had the time. Some teams have been boot camping for a couple weeks now. Immunity apparently showed up just a few days ago. They got a crash course boot camp where they just kind of like piled into a room.
I can only speculate. I don't know the guys personally, but I can't imagine they're on the same sort of level as Renegades are. Like a full-time job. It's their full focus going into this. Like it's definitely going to be a part-time thing. They definitely don't have the same kind of backing really to go boot camp in Germany for 2 weeks before an event. Like it's a big commitment to take, and unless you're actually doing very well at these events, it's hard to justify even suggesting that for a team. When you're up and coming, you need to start getting results first and prove you're worth the investment in that sort of sense. So these are the kind of events they need to start stepping up at. Obviously, we said before, it's one of the hardest ones to attend and get decent results, but just showing that there's some glimmers of hope here could be even enough. But we just watched NIP get completely rolled over by TSM, and that's 2 big names going at it, right? So even if they did lose 16-3, like that does happen. You can't say, oh, they're obviously not ready for this. I guess it's one of those things. Sometimes one team will absolutely smash the other, but happens at the top end of the scene as well. Like we said, Immunity, probably one of the weaker teams at this event, but I'm hoping to see something from them. I always like to see developing teams come and show some sort of promise at least. Even if it's just getting the frags and doing the fundamentals of CS, getting the exchanges and having the right ideas approaching the rounds.
But that's the thing. It's like if they're looking to try and win the game, they're probably going to try and go for crazy stuff, right? Like unorthodox plays, things that they're hoping are going to catch Virtus.Pro off guard rather than try and get that groundwork done, get the steady, solid play that they're going to be able to look back at and see, okay, what did we do right, what did we do wrong, and actually learn from. A bit tough if they're going to try and just throw random stuff out there. So it is a bit of a mystery.
I know VP, though, they're going to be so aggressive. Yeah. They know like every player on their team is going to be better aim-wise, game sense-wise. The synergy between the players as well is just going to be on point. So they're going to be so aggressive. It's going to be very hard for them to approach a tactical sort of game.
Well, we actually, I believe, have a video to show you all, detailing Virtus.Pro's journey here to the event. I mean, this is one of the top 8 teams from the last major, so they did get invited back as a legendary team. But let's go ahead and take a look at that now.
At some point, that gives us the advantage in the game. We're the oldest team here, so many years of experience, but at the same time, sometimes it's a curse, or it doesn't help sometimes because you overthink stuff instead of just going wild and into action like a young player. We've been preparing pretty much, playing a lot, and I think we're ready for the group. We're definitely gonna be strong in this one. Prepared and confident coming here.
hope that Taz brings that kind of fire to this event, right? Like that.
I don't think we're going to see it. We're not going to see it this game, but it's definitely coming. Like, dude, you know, once he gets firing, and he's a great player like that, shows so much emotion, he's so passionate, and that's exactly what you want to see at these kind of events. It's what makes it, especially when we get to the stadium as well. That's going to be so electrifying to watch.
Yeah, that's like Katowice 2014. That was like the huge moment, and Taz just going ham. Frag by it as well. He went to the land there. They played versus LDLC, and all I remember is like, "Happy, are you happy?" Right, just like him shouting it happy the entire time too. It wasn't just like one round. He was just heckling happy the entire time. So that's actually, you know, one of Taz's plays. Like, something that he keeps in his arsenal. Like, okay, when do I actually focus on the game, and when do I try and focus on getting in my opponent's heads?
It is a big factor of the game, though. Like, if you're causing so much distraction and so much noise they can hear, and they know how fired up you are, that's when it's pretty exciting to have that element within your team.
Well, let's now go ahead and take a look at their opponents now. We have a video detailing Immunity's journey here as a qualifying team from the Asian qualifiers.
Our players, haven't played a major before. I've just played the one back in Katowice. Everyone's really excited. This is like the pinnacle of CSGO. So to play here really means a lot to us. Unfortunately, something happened with our flights and we didn't get across early as we'd like to. So we only got here on Monday and we spent yesterday practicing at the Take TV studios. I think what we're looking for, I think being here will never be enough. I mean, being here is great and it's a real privilege, but we want to win. We want to win the whole event. I don't think any team would feel ready. If they say they are ready, then they've probably had a lot more time to prepare than us. I don't think you're ever really ready for coming first.
I mean, now that you guys got it,
God,
the koala is here, and even the koala looks scared.
That video didn't really fill me with confidence.
No, look at that koala right there. Does that koala inspire confidence?
He looks a little bit sad as well.
he looks a little worried.
The whole thing there, they're like, obviously that they've got a little bit messed up with their flights and stuff, but they seem like the message here is like, guys, don't worry, we haven't had much practice here, but we'll give it our best shot.
We'll give it the old college try.
Yeah, there's a bit of a sad video. It's like we needed some sadder music there, just to kind of. But there it was. Like they said, flights kind of stitched them up a little bit. Coming into this on a Monday, most teams have been in this sort of area for about 2 weeks now, so definitely going to be underprepared. Obviously, coming into this event, they've been playing a lot at home, but they wouldn't have got that European experience at that level. So interesting to see the kind of different mentalities of both teams. You compare both videos, there's kind of like day and night there. The headline from Virtus.Pro was like confident and ready. These guys were like underprepared and a little bit shaky. So different scenes, but look at them now. They're a bit happier, not so sad this time.
I think there's some giggling going on right there. And in case you're wondering, that's Hedja.
I was going to say, is that the new coach now?
Yeah, that's Hedja from LGV, man.
So she's coming in as coach. Maybe that's the secret weapon. She's been flown in especially to bring that tactical insight.
I think she's trying to get away from Norway's weather, man. Get down to Australia where it's nice and warm. Norway, not so much.
I prefer the cold man from England.
I know you were talking about this yesterday. You're just like, please give me cold weather.
I've been living in Romania for the last 2 weeks and I'm dying out there. So definitely need the cold. But there you go. Here is the VP boys looking very relaxed.
It's not as bad as Valencia, right? Where you had the.
It's about on par. Like it's the difference between like Valencia was quite humid. Like Romania is very dry heat. It's really stifling. You can barely breathe when you wake up. But I'm enjoying it out there. It's good. It's nice to get some sun on my pale skin.
Yeah, it's coming in.
Yeah, a little bit. But when you stay indoors playing CS all day, you don't really get that much of a tan, to be honest. But yeah, there we go. So the guys just warming up here now. You can see them kind of maybe looking towards the middle screen and trying to work out some last-minute ideas of what they can implement into the game.
Oh, we might have the pick ban going on now. I hope that's the case. There it is. So we got the veto underway. Dust 2 removed by Virtus.Pro, so yeah, no random shenanigans there. And Train taken out by Immunity.
Well, that's a very good idea. Like, VP's Train right now is scary as hell.
And get rid of Inferno as well.
So they are getting rid of like the classic maps. Kind of, I think that's what you said. Is maybe just get rid of the ones you think Community are going to be prepared on. Exactly. Like that's where you start as a CS team, right? You go in your Dust 2s, your Infernos, but then goes Overpass as well. So
Cobblestone it is then.
Interesting.
So choose starting side. It's going to be CT side. That is for Virtus.Pro. If you start, that is an advantage that the Legendary team has in the pick ban phase, is that if you're the higher seed, you get to initiate the veto, and you also get to pick which side you're going to start on when it comes to the map. So it is quite an advantage, having that top seed in the groups.
Definitely, it's one of those things that just rubs it in for the lower team a little bit, because you're going into a map that's almost randomly decided, and then you have to go against the guys on their favoured side. But that's what this whole event's about. If you can't keep up with this event, you shouldn't be here, really. So that's what they're trying to prove. You can make it to that legendary status. So going to be Cbble. We said before that VP, they've had some very strong performances in this in the past, and also some very weak ones, especially against the likes of Fnatic. But going into this matchup, I don't think that's going to be a factor for them. As long as they concentrate on their own game, the key thing is CT, right, is economy management. They need to make sure that, although they probably favour themselves quite a lot buying the scouts and doing the force buys, I think it's not really justified in this matchup. You don't need to do it. You can just make sure you win all the rounds you're supposed to on the gun rounds, and don't let yourself get too deep in that rut of economy. Yeah,
I think it's interesting that VP actually choose to go CT, though, to start things off. Because this is kind of shifting towards a bit of a T-sided map. So I would expect, Virtus.Pro to kind of feed into their aggression, where they're just going to kind of beat them up. Immunity.
Well, I guess maybe they feel like Immunity is quite potentially weak on this map. Well, I guess it wasn't even, we didn't know, it was a random of the three, right? But going into this one, they probably feel like the execute from Immunity won't be world class, so they can probably just play their normal game, lock down, be a little bit aggressive as well, some cheeky pushes. Will probably shut them down quite quickly. I would imagine Immunity will be bringing set pieces to the board. I don't think they can rely on their aim too heavily against these guys. These guys are like the aim machines. Boyali and Snacks, for example, you're going to get locked down by them whatever angle you face. So I think they're going to have to bring a very tactical game to this. A lot of teams favour the B bomb site right now. That's the key area of the map. You see teams like Cloud9 running pretty much the same strategy almost every single round. They'll be getting Shroud into that upper platform area, working their headshots like the Terminator up there. He's really strong at that. And that's what a lot of teams are trying to mimic now, that same smoke and trying to get that one pick. Even if you don't get a pick, you're getting very valuable information. But that's the kind of plays I'm not sure Immunity have that kind of level to work and rely on picks. They're going to have to try and potentially do something a little bit faster and stay as a unit.
The confidence, I think, is the big thing, right? Because to go out onto plateau like that, look for the headshots, you got to be like Kirishima, you got to be like Shroud, you got to just be supremely confident in your ability to get that shot. And I'm wondering right now, especially in this kind of atmosphere, this major atmosphere, once the game gets underway, they're going to have the confidence to just walk out there and start taking those battles.
Well, judging by that video we saw, they don't have that right now. Like, I really couldn't believe the look in their eyes. It was just it's like they're just giving up at that stage, and the video was being recorded yesterday. But there we go. It's going to be Cbble here, and this is the opening game for Group D. And VP definitely got to be the favoured side. They're going to be firing on all cylinders here. Like you said, Cbble now definitely being defined as more of a balanced map. I don't think you can just say it's one side, it's a CT affair. No. Especially, it depends on the matchup, especially what kind of approaches they take to it. I imagine we're going to see VP with the early start. They'll be playing quite passively. We know that Neo's due open now. He'll probably be towards the back of B site, kind of just going for the simple plays. Maybe he'll push up on the platform sometimes to get that early pick, but he knows he can just get. Like I said, he's not the flashiest AWPer, but he's reliable and he's good for 1 or 2 kills pretty much every single execution. So that's where he factors in so well to this. And then we can see a little bit of flamboyant eyebrows there. We see a lot of those from VP, actually, Taz especially.
Yeah, Snacks, though. Snacks. Damn, impressive control. But I think we're going to be getting into the game any moment now. It's going to be into the pistol round. And as we saw earlier, Virtus.Pro will be starting on the defense on the CT side, whereas Immunity will have to see what they're capable of on their T side. So that should be happening any second. We should be getting live. But this is the first game of Group D as well. At the same time, well, not at the same time, happening next will be mousesports versus Cloud9. That's going to be an excellent match. That's going to be something to look forward to.
That's one I've been waiting for like a long time. This is why I chose Group D as my favorite in the opening of the day. Just because there's so much like rivalries in this team. They've played each other so much, those three teams especially. And it's been so back and forth as well. Like mousesports sometimes seem to have the edge over VP, especially in their breakout tournament at Gfinity. That's when they 2-0'd them twice, right? And that's when they looked really strong, and that's when we actually started to notice mousesports a bit. We actually maybe started to take them seriously from that stage. And ever since then, they've been getting better and better. But as I say that, though, it looks like we are underway. It's going to be Cbble in the opening game of Group D. We have VP starting on the CT side, and let's take it away.
Well, there's a few decoys already going out, so Immunity trying to make it a little bit more confusing here for Virtus.Pro, but Neo shows no fear whatsoever, decides to step out of A apartments and get some information, just spots the one man, doesn't see anybody else, but he has left the underpass open, and he does have Snacks rotating in to support him, but Snacks gets completely overwhelmed. There's the Glock train. Perfect play there by Team Immunity, and they're going to be prepared to go straight up onto this A site and get the bomb plant. Definitely not what Virtus.Pro were expecting.
Yeah, absolutely. And here we go then. The execution onto where now it's going to be a full retake from the CT side. 4-on-3 situation favouring the Australians. So this should be a situation they should win, especially looking at the kids now. Burley with the only man there. If he gets taken down, it's going to be a very difficult retake indeed.
Yeah, and Taz looking for the backstab, but he figures out that at least one man is holding in A apartments. It's going to come down now to Bialy, and up close he gets overwhelmed by Ustillo. And that leaves Pasha all by his lonesome here. Taz trying to push up from underpass. He is going to be able to make his way in, but Ustillo with the shot in the back, and Ustillo still standing strong. Pasha can't get rid of this guy. He is now in a 1v4, and it's not looking good for him. Pre-fire around the corner, and Ricky's going to find a kill for himself. So that's 2 for Ricky and 2 for Ustillo. A single frag picked up for Sniper, but more importantly, the pistol round going Immunity's way.
Obviously, in the best of 1 series, winning the pistol, they're opening it up very well there. It was quite a nice strategy from Team Immunity, dropping the 4 decoys towards the B side. Most teams will actually rush B on their T pistol. So I think as soon as those went down, maybe VP almost assumed that was going down. They went back to middle, got the first frag there, and as soon as the bomb went down, like I said, it's a very difficult side to retake, especially when you have no utility left. But of course, VP always love a force buy. Neo will be on the scout as well. He can be very dangerous with that. And let's see how they react here. A drop down, a boost coming into play. Will it come? Will they make anything of it though? And no, they won't. Sniper does take down Taz, and that should open the round up quite nicely. We have seen the CT's force buy here, so definitely need to find a frag right now. Will Neo be able to do it?
Whoa. And he just barely makes it out of there, man. Yeah. 4 HP left for Neo. It's going to calm him down a little bit, even if he wants to go for the jump scout shenanigans. Now he's got to be a little bit worried when he's that low on HP. But you have to give it to Sniper as well, taking such a far back position. In case the boost happened, he'd be prepared, and he didn't miss the shot when it was given to him. Yeah,
absolutely. Like, being aware of those situations is so vital, especially when the CTs are just trying to find one frag and open themselves up. Neo here, he almost has to fall back. With 4 HP, that's not a viable position for him. He's have to fall back, and the terrorists making their way up middle now, and this should be a pretty easy execution for them onto the A side.
And he's already in position. There it is. Tags up 1. If he gets another tag, this would be great, but he's only going to land the 1 shot onto Ustillo. Imagine Ricky finding the kills, and it's Bialy and Pasha, the last 2 alive here for Virtus.Pro, but really they're in no position to do anything. It's almost like just play super passive, hold on to the gear that you have going into the 3rd round, because a 2-on-5 retake of the A site, it's just not meant to be.
Well, it just means they can save the CZ in the 5-7 there. That's going to be more valuable for them now. Even if they take a kill off the terrorist side, it's almost not worth it. It's much more viable to try and do a stack with those guns next time. This is what I was saying before the game. I didn't really fancy VP actually taking this buy. They didn't really need to. I think going into the gun round now, they won't have the AWP play. They're going to be lacking utility, especially if these 2 guys die. Pasha looks like he's going to be getting some exits here, but Ricky has his number definitely, and he takes him down. And it's going to be Bialy being the remaining players. So just to continue my point there, as soon as you force buy in the 2nd round, you really do stitch yourself up going into the 1st gun round, because look at the money now. They're going to be having some difficult decisions. How do they approach this next round? Definitely can't buy anything here, or they're going to be in a world of pain going into that 1st gun round. So they'll have Famises and M4s, but it's going to be a difficult round to win, especially when Team Immunity are in a good position now. Keeping the SMGs very viable for them.
Yeah.
They can run into any bomb site, potentially clean up completely and make some great bank there.
Well, it was like worst case scenario for Virtus.Pro in that last round as well, because 3 of those kills went to MP7s. So that's $600 a kill with those SMGs. Exactly. It's massive money for Immunity, and that's exactly what you want to avoid. That's kind of why you do go for the Kevlar, helmet buy, but they just weren't able to make it work that time, Virtus.Pro. They got overwhelmed. And so now Team Immunity, they're going to be able to keep farming, and it's a boost over on the, or a boost rather, a stack.
Yeah, this is what the only option they really had here, is just try and get 4 men and try and guess what's going on. But as long as the T's plays correctly, you just work out, you feel the map out, you see where the stacks can be. If they can play someone out to the B platform, for example, that'd be great just to get that info to start it around and see if there's any players there. But looks like the CT's trying to show some presence now and get some information of their own.
And I am admiring Immunity's patience, not really rushing into any kind of dangerous situation, taking their time, clearing out the angles. I'm not sure if they've picked up on the fact that it's a stack, but they are making the right call.
Yeah, that's
making
the smoke I was talking
about,
right? So you can get some information there and work out where the CTs are doing. It's just going to be Bialy now, and he needs to make a kill perhaps, but that smoke's going to be very dangerous and hard for them to hold off.
He's got that 5-7, but nobody's going to be coming through drop-down room, so unfortunately he's not going to have the chance to go for an easy headshot. So he's going to have to wait for them to come around the corner. There it is, gets peeked, and while he gets dropped down at 82 HP, now Team Immunity, they're going to be able to get the bomb plant easily. They're taking their time with the bomb, checking out Pigeon Coop and Bialy. He does get 1 kill, so a 1-for-1 trade there, but then Sniper chimes in, takes out Pasha, and Ustillo is going to be right on top of them as they go for a cheeky boost, and it's just not meant to be. They spot out Taz on top of everything else.
Yep, so pretty simple day at the office there for Immunity, and this is a great start for them. Going 3-0, I always was waiting for them to drop around there, but they've done, like you said, very patient, methodical CS there. Didn't do anything too silly. Made sure they filled out the map before anyone commits to anything. You see a lot of teams sending in one player just to get that information. They didn't do that. They played it very slow and waited the CTs out. They bled them dry before they even had a chance to find a frag. That stack came to nothing whatsoever, and this is what I'm talking about. Look at the buy for VP now. They've got next to nothing. They haven't got a single kit. They haven't really got a utility to hold the T's off, and this is a B rush. This is perfect call from Immunity here. They could really get into this game now.
Yeah, now it's all about just running in, running gun. They have the nades coming in here. Virtus.Pro, what little nades they've all put them to use. And Pasha, he's able to follow the wall and get him behind. Taz takes out Ustillo, and there's Pasha in position, slaps James out of the air. Down to 3 players now, Immunity, and Virtus.Pro, they were ready. They were prepared. They're already landing shots. 2 headshots go in. Imagine and Ricky both so very low, and Ricky is gone. The op laid low. Immunity, they just get completely hammered in this rush attempt. Yeah. And what went wrong there, Henry?
So they had the right idea, but they weren't utilizing drop down at all. All 5 players went towards the upper platform. They had the right idea. Like I said, rushing B there was a great call, but they needed to shift the attention from one area. All 3 CTs in the bomb site were looking at the upper platform. And we know, like we said, that was the main headline here, that Immunity haven't got the aim to keep up with these players. They need to utilize the tactics and kind of separate the attention from drop down, upper platform, and maybe have the CTs panic a little bit. When you're all coming out one area and you're not hitting your shots, it's pretty easy cleanups there. We saw Pasha, he had so much opportunity for headshots. He was missing shots as well, but somehow found a couple of kills just because they weren't really doing anything once they got out. They just looked a little bit lost. And when you have 3 CTs looking in one area, you just take turns peeking. The terrorists don't have a chance to even take you down there. So Imagine's going to be a last player alive, and he will pick up a kill into Neo, but it's not going to lead to much as Taz takes him down. And 3-1, that's the first round on the board for VP, but that's the money situation for Immunity. It's not as good as I thought it would be after that those SMG saves. It'll be interesting to see how they approach this round. We can see an AK being brought there. Will the rest of the team follow suit? Or will they? Oh, here we go. The force buy is coming out. They will keep themselves a decent amount of cash.
It's a quasi buy. It's not even a full commit here.
So you have 1 AK, and then they're keeping the rest of the team at about $1,600 with some armor as well. But this is where Neo starts getting aggressive. He's got the AWP. We talked about him being the AWP now. Not showing so much presence as I thought he would, but 4 players from the T side going towards the B bomb side now, maybe trying to work that slower play and get the pick with the smoke.
Yeah, that might be it. I mean, they still have Pasha. Pasha does tend to like to lurk over here towards Plateau, and he looks like he might get boosted up here. Yeah, Bialy going to give his teammate a helping hand, get him up into position. And before that smoke clears, Pasha's going to be able to clear out these angles. So this is where it gets a little tricky here for Team Immunity. Deep smoke, though, from Pasha, and Ustillo's actually within the radius, but I think Pasha spotted the gun barrel. Yes, he did.
Uh-oh.
Oh, he's got the Molotov. This is it. He's toast Ustillo. Well done. Oh! Okay, then. Well, really that'll teach us to assume.
Yeah, that was a kill you thought Pasha had tied up all day long, and then all of a sudden that's a huge kill from Ustillo, and all of a chance they have a chance in this round because they have 4 pistols here, but they have the man advantage. They need to choose where they're going to go. 1 smoke remaining. Do they just commit to the B bomb side? Do they rotate it around and try and peel the CTs back a little bit?
Yeah, that 1 AK actually getting something done there for Immunity.
I was about to say how good VP are at stifling teams with their utility, and that's what we were getting demonstrated there. It seemed like a masterclass, but the kill not going in their favor, and all of a sudden they're on the back foot.
And well, nice smoke going down to block off drop, and they're just going to run right out through, and it's a complete and utter slaughter.
Okay, so the hype has died, and the pick doesn't really come to much, but it was a good initial try, I guess. Ustillo got that pick onto Pasha, maybe could have made things interesting there, but ultimately it's a pretty simple round in the end for VP. We can see Neo with the AWP. We saw him going towards long A at the start of the round. Didn't go for an aggressive face, but he's just going to be basing that on spawn to see if he can shut them down, but look at the money now for Immunity. There's going to be an eco this time, but they will have a full buy going to the next one. I wouldn't be surprised we saw the AWP come up for themselves. A change of mentality perhaps for them needed to get themselves back into it. That's 2 in a row now for VP.
Well, again with the flash, and this time Neo doesn't go far enough to spot the man, so that might actually catch him off guard somewhat. Snacks holding down Mouse 1, gets a triple spray, gets the quad. Eco Cobra in the house. And now Neo, he figured out where Ricky was playing from as well. That's the bomb. They're going to box him in. There's nowhere for Ricky to go at this point. And a very solid hold coming in here for Virtus.Pro. Snacks in particular. Yeah,
wow, you can when you get 4-man spray down without dying, that's always a lot of fun for him. Ricky has got the bomb, no armor, P250 in hand, and if he finds a kill, I'll be very surprised indeed. It looks like he wants the ace. He'll be coming in, and there it is. He takes it down. First ace I've actually seen this tournament, so he sets the bar for VP going into this one. So 3 in a row for VP now. As I said, there's the AWP for Immunity. Change of pace for them, slowing it down, see if they can work the picks instead of trying to commit 1 player out to the upper platform. But yeah, right now VP seem to be firing all cylinders. The round's being very convincing so far since the initial first 3 after the pistol.
It's the second ace that I've seen, but again, it was an eco ace for Fallen in the last game.
Yeah, so, nothing to write home about yet.
Exactly. It's like eco ace, okay, but we need to see the real ace. And that's going to happen eventually here. But a very quick approach this time from Snacks. Pushes in through underpass, and imagine just wrapping back around. We'll pick him off. Astillo holding the line, takes out Pasha as well. And Virtus.Pro, what a flick from Neo, though, taking out James from underpass. That's going to bring it back to a 3-on-4. But Virtus.Pro still have a lot of work ahead of him here. I mean, Bialy, I do like his position. Bit of a tricky spot. Looking towards drop, looking towards connector, and up on plateau as well, so it's not too shabby. Maybe he'll get lucky and actually catch somebody asleep here on Team Immunity's side. He has committed himself, though. There's no way for him to get out of here short of fighting his way out.
The Molotovs are there, though. He's going to get flushed out. If Immunity know what they're doing, they can flush him out and get a free kill. There it is. And he will be spotted. But how's he got a kill? How's he getting away with that? That's unbelievable.
Perfect timing on the flash. Perfect timing on the flash from a teammate, basically. And that's it. He actually manages to battle his way out. 2 kills for Bialy, still alive. Ricky on the angle, not going to hit the shot. Flash goes in. And there it is. Neo decides to step into play. And Neo with the backstab, actually. Taking out Ricky and clean things up with the Tech 9.
That was crazy. I don't know how he got away with that. When you normally get a Molotov drops on you, that's you dead. You've been flushed out. But like he said, that perfect synergy from VP. The flashbang came in the exact right time, and he comes in and gets the clean spray down there. And that was a round you really favoured for Immunity. They got the first 2 picks there. We saw that aggression in middle of the start. That's what I'm talking about, the confidence. Once they get in the zone, they'll lose respect for their opponents and just start doing big pushes, trying to get that early frag. Didn't work out for them. They actually got locked down pretty early on. But Immunity, I think they're going to be disappointed with that one. Not converting that round into a victory is going to be really a bitter pill to swallow, but here we go then, another Eco round for them. Yeah,
and it's going to take a hit on their economy as well, because once again, they're stuck on pistols. Flash is going through here, and Taz, danger of getting overwhelmed up close like this. A single headshot will do the job. They've got Tech 9s, and they are there. Jumping Tech, and there it is. Imagine takes one out. Snacks and Bialy rotate in, though, to try and plug the gap. And Pasha still holding from Henhouse. So it's not too shabby a situation here for Virtus.Pro. They haven't lost control, but they have made it a bit more expensive than they really needed to. Nicely done there with the flash to open things up. Imagine taking out Pasha, but Neo from on high will remove Sniper. And that leaves Imagine alone, and he has no bomb as well. It's been dropped over in connector, so virtually an impossible situation for Virtus.Pro to lose at this point.
Well, the fact he's got 16 HP, had he had a little bit more, maybe he'd have had a chance, but the fact he's got to go through connector to get that bomb, that is a horrible, is that the hell situation here? He should get shut down in about 5 seconds time. Yep, there it is. It's a simple cleanup for Snacks in the end, but definitely a competitive round. Getting 3 kills on the board is decent, but that's the 5th round in a row now for VP. Their money situation is not going to be tight whatsoever. You see who's that? Snacks on around almost 10k there.
11k for
11k for Neo. So yeah, even the kills they're getting doesn't really affect VP's economy too badly. But here we go, then the AWP out once again. We did see them get some valuable picks, but they're unable to finish the rounds off as their execution onto the bomb side seemed to be the problem. So I don't think VP need to be so aggressive as they showed before in the last gun round. They just need to just hold back and allow Immunity come to them and then just utilize their range.
Good adjustment made here by Ricky. But wow, Neo going ahead and adjusting his play. He's going to keep him guessing, because he's been going for that very flash right there that we saw, but then he goes for the peek, right? So Rick is like, okay, I'll just wait for you to go for that peek, Neo, and get that free kill. Not the case, though. Virtus.Pro 1 step ahead.
Yeah, Neo seems really strong in this position, really smart players. We've said that, though, Pasha does take down Astillo. That's the Shroud sort of mentality we've been talking about, trying to get that early frag through the smoke. Doesn't happen for them this time, and it's going to put VP in advantage. But Ricky takes down Neo. Great pick for them.
But the flash goes down, and the smoke as well, and Snacks decides to hold back. Flash comes through. He turns away in time, though. Picks up 1 and nearly gets 2. James will be able to return, however, and it's going to be a 3-on-3 now, pushing onto the A site. Taz already in position to hold the line. He's looking for the headshot. There's the flash. The shots ring out, and Sniper gets picked off. And it's going to leave Taz alone on the site. Rotation coming through, but Taz doesn't need your help. Taz is taking care of work on his own. It's going to be Ricky the last man alive, and Taz actually gets all 3 kills.
He wasn't in a great position there either. Like, you had to favor the T's coming up that mid-ramp, and then you've got the Wolf player as well. They can move the headbox so much around, but Taz cleared up 3 frags for him, especially after Neo got taken down by Ricky. I thought that round would have been opened up. The A-bomb side would have been definitely viable for them at least, but Taz, once again, as we were talking about, the individual players on the team are so strong. When you put up against Immunity, that they should beat them in every single one-on-one duel going up against it. But now we can see the buy coming from Immunity. Now it's getting ground down a little bit. They have got 5 AKs. York hasn't really had that much impact so far. They maybe get 1 pick around, but hasn't been winning rounds, obviously. 6 in a row now for VP. And Neo showing some big aggression towards the long A area.
Oh, and Snacks getting wall banged down. Imagine hunting him down in the end in underpass. That's not too shabby. So a man advantage here for Immunity. Again, with the advantage, we have to see if they can actually make use of it. And did Neo actually just get tagged by a flash? I think he did. So, well, there you go. Taking a little bit of damage, but Neo's now hungry. He needs to try and bring this back. He knows that somebody might be lurking around here, but he's a little bit late. They're making their way down into underpass already. Neo, does he actually get the angle on someone? He's going to speed things up a little bit, and there it is. Oh, this could be brutal, but then the rotation coming in from Sniper. Does Neo actually turn to look in time?
Oh, God.
No, this is it, man.
What's he doing?
Oh, what?
Why? No, not like this.
James actually helps him out. And Neo, he will not get the second kill. Taz, though, with the M4 gets nailed by James. And, well, that's kind of awkward.
That was really awkward. He had such an opportunity there to just end the round. 3 people in front of him. Those sometimes are the hardest situations, especially when you've only got the 5-7 and you're not up on your back. But it's going to be a 4-on-2 now. We haven't seen great executions on the site from Immunity so far. Can they convert this round into a victory?
Well, Bialy stands his ground and takes out Sniper, so that's a good start. Imagine and James still very low. And Pasha with the lurk will be able to peek out, picks off Ricky immediately. And he still has a nade to work with as well. He's got full nades, in fact, so this could get a little tricky. Immunity just running out of time, down to 9 seconds, and Pasha playing it smart, but the wallbang through the smoke is going to take him out. That's exactly what had to happen. Pasha was just trying to play the clock.
I thought he had that. Looking at the HP of the 2 remaining players there, it seemed like a classic Pasha round just to clear that one up. Great lurk from him at the back of the site, but I think his teammate dying up in the balcony there, that was the differential there. He didn't have the crossfire to work with, but there we go then. Immunity finally get themselves back on the board, and that round from Neo, heartbreaking after doing such a great lurk in the back. Unfortunately, didn't have the weapons to pull it off, but he's going back again. He wants more.
If he'd had an M4, right? If he'd had an M4, that would have been all the difference.
He could have just got 1 kill at least, but I think he interviewed a team kill, so maybe that's something. But
there it is, and James with a clever angle gets the headshot on Neo, so no joy for Virtus.Pro, and once again they lose that first frag, so they're down a man playing from behind.
That seems to be the story of every single round though. VP just showing a lot of aggression and pushing in certain areas, but they're not actually getting the initial frags. They're giving Immunity a chance by doing that every single time. They don't need to do that. We've seen the execution be poor onto the side, so just wait for them to come to you. That seems to be my suggestion at least, but here we go then. Immunity once again heading towards the B site, and will they be able to find the opening kill here as Bialy goes back up? We saw him get flushed out with a Molotov last time. Will the same story happen again?
And Pasha joining him as well. This could get tricky. Pasha kind of giving it away that he's here, however, but a nicely timed flash, and he gets counter-flashed, and he's still around. Bialy will be able to pick up the 1 kill, but that's just not good enough. 2 kills go Immunity's way, and this is shaping up to be another Immunity round, unless there can be some big plays coming out from Snacks, but good smokes going down to block off that site, and Snacks, for now, has no impact. He's looking for the shots through, and we do see him tag someone, but he's going to miss the spray that would have got him a kill. And now it's a 2-on-4 retake situation. Snacks all on his own now in a 1-on-4. He loses his teammate, and he loses his life afterwards. Ricky just locking it down in the end. 5 rounds on the board now for Immunity versus, well, Virtus.Pro 6.
Well, this is going to be a situation I'm going to call it now. VP will force by this, I'm pretty sure. Although they definitely don't need to. You can see them considering it now. I really don't want to do it, but of course they will. You can never tame these guys, especially against teams they don't really respect, I guess. But again, just to reiterate the point I was making, they're pushing and giving away early frags when they don't need to whatsoever. They're winning rounds convincingly, and now they're giving Immunity a chance back in this series. And I'm not really sure why they're allowing this to happen. And this force buy as well is very questionable. Losing this round will put them onto a full eco, and then they're in a world of pain at that stage. But Neo will have the scout holding the stairs area there, but as long as Immunity play this slow and work out what they're up against, they see an MP9, they should be able to convert this one pretty easily, and we'll see a very slow round coming into the board.
Well, they are trying to pace things out. Neo's got that scout. Let's see if he actually gets a target. Yes, he does. There's a leg shot, and he backs off, playing it safe. He knows that just doing the damage is already annoying enough. So that's going to slow Rick it down somewhat, down to 35 HP, and no initial frag going Immunity's way either. So Virtus.Pro, they can still try and keep things paced out the way that they want. Pasha holding up close with the Mag 7 as well. He knows that Immunity have been favoring Plateau, so he's just hoping to pull a fast one and get a free kill there.
Well, again, the bomb coming towards that upper platform area. And Pasha's going to be waiting with the Mag 7. He can cause a lot of trouble in this position. Definitely favors him if they do phase 1 by 1.
There's a shot. Is he going to get it? Oh, the angle is just off, but there it is. Point blank. He lines him up. Pasha with the 2-for-1, and he's going for the jump, but he's not going to get it. Rico with the pre-fire shuts him down, but the damage is done, and Taz stops Sniper's flank. Sniper attempting to go through drop to get a crossfire going, but it just wasn't meant to be, and Bialy will be able to pick up the last frag on Rick. So Virtus.Pro, they make it happen in the end. And what's worse is Pasha gets 2 kills with a shotgun, so he just made massive money.
That's so weird. So the whole time Immunity have been utilising that smoke properly and stopping that angle even being a situation for them. And now this time they just walk straight in and allow Pasha to have that. Obviously they don't know he's there, but at least cover yourselves. Take out some of the choke points going into the bomb site. Now they had to look at that. Pasha got a double shot, I think, a double 2 kills with 1 shot. So amazing stuff there. But that's Virtus.Pro 7 on the board now. They bounce back with that force buy, and it's going to force Immunity now onto the quasi buy, I guess. They've got enough to buy next round. So just trying to work something with the Tech 9s. Have got some smokes as well, but looks like they're favouring the A side this time.
Yeah, Neo this time around, he's trying to make up his mind if he wants to go aggro or not, and it seems like he's still content to kind of hold out in the halls. Whereas Snacks, once again, up close. A bit dangerous to be so close forward, though, versus pistols like that. Tech-9s, man, they're scary.
As soon as they work out the Tech-9s are there, now they can just say, let's fall back to the bomb sites. It's really risky to even stay in this position and give them an AK without any response. You can see Snacks won't actually get a teammate to fall back, but he doesn't care. Headshot on Giustillo opens it up, and that's going to be a 5-on-4. This is definitely the point you fall back. I don't.
No, he keeps going. What does this? Snacks. Like real risk. There's the nade going through, and while he gets dropped down to 72, he's making his way back. He gets caught in the corner, though, but he still managed to pick up the one frag. And this is just Snacks basically showing no respect whatsoever.
Yeah, especially in a major situation when you get the first kill and you've worked out the other team on a force buy / eco. Your best bet is to fall back to the bomb site and keep it long range with your rifle. Don't give them a chance at a kill, but Bialy takes down James there, and Pasha finishes it off into Imagine. So, pretty simple round there for VP. Obviously, still showing that aggression we've been talking about. Has let them down in some initial picks, but the buy now should be able to come in from Immunity. This is one I probably would recommend taking, definitely, because you've got 2 rounds remaining. Getting 7 rounds on the board would be a very good half for them. They did win the pistol, get the 3-0, so that was great for them, but so far they've only won 2 gun rounds. So this is a round they want to take. Maybe a change of pace for them would be good here. We saw them do the rush B straight away, but they didn't do it properly. They didn't execute correctly onto the side. All 5 men on the upper platform.
You know how Flight of the Valkyries go, right? Goes, like, can you hear the music? For a second there, I thought that they were really just going to go for the full yellow rush.
I think that's probably like when you've got nothing left, then you think, oh, getting out-aimed everywhere. You might as well take the chance in the B rush and see whether you can find that first entry kill. That's what it comes down to, really. But they have slowed it down, and this is what VP is so good at, slowing teams down with their utility usage, especially when they have full buys. They've got the incendiaries and the smokes to play with, and they can just run down that timer all day long. They're so good at it. It's one of the best teams in the world, in my opinion, at locking terrorist teams out. But opening kill once again from Pasha.
But exactly, that's the kind of thing. Once it starts getting down to duels, where you're like, okay, we're going to play for picks and then try and execute, right? This just keeps happening. Pasha gets 1 kill, Bialy gets another. They're just getting picked off, and now all the utility that those guys could have brought to the fore, the smokes, the flashes, etc., that could have been useful, they're gone. And so the 3 players left here for Immunity. Nice kill, though, by James, bringing it back on Bialy, but then Pasha's able to rotate in, pick up a frag. Rick takes out Snacks. So this is actually a bit closer than I thought it would get, clearly, but Pasha holds his own, flicks right back in, gets a headshot, and that's going to leave Rick alone. 1v2, 30 seconds left on this clock, but Pasha is still alive on the site, and he will catch Rick looking the wrong way. No joy for Rick, no lucky headshot. It's just going to be a 9th round on the board for Virtus.Pro.
So another 4-man there for Pasha. Strong stuff from him. He is one of the strongest B players in the game, I think. So that was, like you said, it was just went down to the picking game. Once I think the rush was the intention when they started the round, but the problem is when you commit all 5 players to one area of the map, if you're not going to make an execution there and then, the CTs start gathering information on other sides and they can start rotating themselves over. So when you have 4 CTs waiting for you in the form of VP, you've got no chance of winning that round, and this is the final one now, and it will be a fast play. Again, 4 players heading into OVP. Will they commit fully or wait again through the smokes?
Oh, it looks like they are going to commit straight up. Nades are going out, however. This is a straight no-fear rush, and Astillo's there to open things up by taking out Pasha. They still have a single smoke. That's going to be on Sniper. There's the Molotov going down as well. Multiple Molotovs, in fact. They want the space right now, Immunity, to work with. And there's a good spray coming through. They're low on HP, but they're still alive. A 4-on-4 situation trying to defend this planted bomb. But Immunity only have pistols, so it's not going to get any easier. And the Molotov going down isn't going to help. Bialy picks off Sniper at range, and it leaves it down to the 3 remaining members here. Imagine getting caught out in the open. Now down to Astillo and James. Neo on the flank, going on to Plateau, spots the man. He does get taken out, and all of a sudden Snacks just jumps out there as well. They're also very low. Astillo gets the final kills, and he actually gets the ace in the end. Immunity, that's how you close the half.
I was about to say there's not even much point even trying to hype that one up. It wasn't ever going to happen. You've got Tech-9s on the site, you had low HP. You assumed VP were going to clear that one up, but Eustadio somehow goes absolutely sick on that final round and gets him the 6 on the board. And that could be really instrumental going into this next half. That could be what takes them over the edge here. So although it's a disappointing half ultimately from them, that last round, look at that. You can see VP are a little bit worried at that last round. I think they thought that one was pretty much tied up, but that makes things interesting at least going to the second half.
Yeah, they better feel a little awkward there. I mean, you've got 5 fully kitted out guys, and they're getting picked off by a guy with a Tech-9.
Well, the fact that Neo is lurking in the back as well, that was a kill he should have been making. He shouldn't have died there. He had the AK, he had the positional advantage as well. I don't know how he got taken down, so that was a pretty questionable round there, and one we thought was a throwaway almost, considering the way VP have been playing, but can't take anything away from Immunity there. That is a respectable half from them. So getting 6 rounds on the board as T-side against VP, that's pretty phenomenal stuff, especially considering the match we built up before this. Like we said, arguably the weakest team at this event, and that's a great start for them, and maybe they can do something with this.
I love it though, right? It's like arguably the best or the weakest team, but still able to do some pretty considerable damage to a team that should be making the playoffs guaranteed. So that's already, it's going to show just how close it is now at the top of the food chain.
Absolutely. Well, that last round, I think there's going to be in a few frag movies to come, because that was pretty crazy stuff with the Tech 9. And you can see the little bit of residue from that round.
They better be frustrated, I think, on Virtus.Pro. But this is also the time now where it's like, okay, talk it out and figure out what you're going to do for the next half, right? You're going to be on the T side now. This is where you can bring the Tech 9s to the 4. You can open things up with the op if you want, or just go full rifles and take the fight.
That last round kind of summarizes VP a lot. They let those kind of rounds happen all the time. Do you remember at DreamHack Valencia when Rain got that 1-4 on Train?
On Train, yep.
Same mistakes. All this kind of guys just going one by one, thinking it's over, it's all tied up. They just wanted to end the half as quickly as they could. And all of a sudden they went into overtime against Kingwin there. And then that was a very similar situation. A round, if they had just waited, the bomb had only just gone down. If they'd just taken the round properly, they still had grenades. I think they thought, it's a foregone conclusion. Let's just run in, let's get it over with. Yep. And down they went. And that's a mistake they need to rectify, because it's going to lose them at tournaments one day. But here we go, they go to second half. VP now on the terrorist side. They have 9 rounds to play with. And normally we will see them do something very simple on this, but let's see how this unfolds as the CT's actually stacked towards the B-bomb site.
Yeah, they are fully. And then they have the man pushing out here. Imagine up in the apartments, getting massive amounts of information. But he's going to be able to spot the first man through. He gets dropped down. Instant headshot onto him, though. That's going to force him back. Pretty sure he spotted the bomb as well, so that's going to force the rotation out of Immunity. We can already see an extra 3 players making their way towards the A site. But Virtus.Pro not wasting any time, just go barreling up. They get caught in the crossfire. Sniper and Rick already going to work, managing to pick up 2 kills, slowing things down. James will take out Pasha, and that's going to leave Taz and Snacks, the last 2 alive. Taz will take out Sniper, though, and bring it back, and Snacks finds a headshot of his own, bringing it back to a 2-on-2, but that bomb needs to get up onto the site. It needs to get planted, and it's just not going to happen. Astillo has his say, gets 2 kills, and another pistol round, the second pistol round, going for Immunity.
So we see a lot of CT teams doing that right now. So you try and stack one area, you try and predict a rush coming in. A lot of teams do the B rush, but what was great about that, we saw the CT player pushing the long A area and getting that vital information. He called it was the same sort of thing. The decoys went towards B, but he had the position where he could call them coming back in. He did get a headshot, but like I said, that information gathered allowed them to kind of pincer the terrorist team. And of course, VP do answer back once again with the Tech 9s, but this obviously makes it a lot scarier for Team Immunity. They've got SMGs going into this round.
They're going for the split. I like this. Virtus.Pro, instead of all going onto Plateau, they just decide to split it up, going drop, going Plateau, and there are the kills coming from it. 2 kills for there. Sniper nearly taking out a teammate. Little tight there, a little wired. But it's still a 2-man advantage now for Virtus.Pro going onto the B site. The bomb will make its way there as well and get planted. Pasha with the backstab will take out Rick. And it's going to be Imagine now. Last man alive here, already getting flanked, and another kill for Pasha.
Questionable decision to buy SMGs on Cbble against VP. You know they're going to force buy against you, and you're going in against Tech 9s with SMGs. I'd have preferred to get the Famis's out and just sit at the back of the site and just utilize the long range you have, force the bomb plan to go down. And as soon as you go into that drop-down area of an SMG, unless you get the first headshot off and you've got a great spray down, it's going to be impossible to shut down. There's going to be 2 or 3 Ts jumping down, though, Tech 9s. They can keep running and shooting. You can't kill all of them. And they lost those first 2 frags, and that's where it all fell apart for them. You can't retake the side once they've made it in that far. But full eco now from the CTs, and we can see the ball has been exchanged back into the VP core as they take the SMGs. 1 kill all there, but they know the CTs have absolutely nothing to play with here.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, it's almost a hard eco coming out. Sniper will invest in a 5.7, but Rick, he wants to get that AWP, so he's only on the USP. Astillo and James as well, just holding back from spending any money. So it is going to be, oh, wow, okay, Virtus.Pro, double kill pretty much instantly. And they only need 6 rounds now, Virtus.Pro, to get into that winner match here for Group D. So this is it pretty much. Everything going according to plan now in this round, at least as far as Virtus.Pro are concerned. They're getting kills with the SMGs. One of them gets robbed by Neo with the CZ, but that's not a problem because you're making pretty decent money already with the other players. Yeah, now they know where Sniper's playing from as well, so bomb plant and everybody out and hunting. They want that bonus $600 if they can get it.
Yep, and I think they probably will. Sniper is going to be at the top of mid-area, but Ali can smell blood in the water though as he swarms down, and Sniper's going to be hiding. I think he'll probably get 1 kill out of this, take down Neo perhaps. No, it's not meant to be. Clean round there for VP, looking very strong right now. Interesting to see how they approach the next round. I think they'll probably keep the SMGs. As you can see, the money is reasonable for Team Immunity. a surprise buy may be a good call here. Just the fact you could get the drop on the SMGs, but I assume that it's going to try and play the long game here and get into the AWPs next round. Some CZs, some P250s coming into the board. They can justify some body armor as well, but I don't think that's going to amount to much. And the T's potentially just going to do something very simple here. Maybe just a full-on B rush with the SMGs, get out into drop down perhaps, and see what we can do. And it looks like they will be doing that. All 5 men heading over there. They need to get in quickly before the CTs work out what's going on.
Yeah, there's the flash and there's the peek, and everybody full flash, but Pasha does manage to save the day, taking out Astillo before he can do big damage. Bialy dropped down to half HP, and he's going to be taking points. Snacks gets caught by James, but Bialy is there to save the day, and it's a man advantage here for Virtus.Pro going on to the B site. Immunity trying to find an angle to work with here. You can see Sniper just dancing on the edge of the smoke, and he should be able to get a free kill here onto Neo, but he somehow fluffs it completely.
Ooh.
Gets nothing out of it. Neo lives with 2 HP. That's twisting the blade in the wound.
That was difficult to watch. I think it's one of the situations he thought, okay, I've definitely got this kill. I've missed a few. Oh, I've actually missed it. A little bit disappointing, but not a huge deal here considering that there's still SMGs for the terrorist team. You have to assume they'll be upgrading this stage, chucking them away. That's probably a wise idea, I think. Get the AKs out, AWP out on Neo, and we can say that the AWP has come out on Ricky as well, as I was talking about, making sure they went into this round with that strong setup and have the turret moving around the map.
Yeah, but Pasha, man, starts this round with 12,000.
12,000.
Starts it with 12,000.
12-7 as well. That pretty much sums up they won't be ecoing anytime soon. So let's see what Ricky can do. He's going for that aggressive face down middle and looking for the early frag, but I don't think VP are going to give it to him. They look like they're playing a pretty passive game here, doing very similar stuff, going for that upper peak and the upper B platform as well, but they're going to have some confrontation then.
Yeah, you already have the plateau play coming out, and James does manage to get into the position that Bialy was favoring earlier as well. And we could actually have some shenanigans. 2 guys holding on plateau. Pasha's just trying to put some shots out there, and he actually does tag up James. But Virtus.Pro slowed it down either. They're not going to go for the ultra aggression. They're not going to try and force things. They're taking their time because they could be very happy just forcing the utility out of Immunity at this point, making sure that the smokes, the flashes, they're going to be limited on nades. So when the real push comes in for Virtus.Pro, Immunity, it's going to be that much harder for them.
Absolutely. So quite a slow round from VP here. Haven't really shown too much here, but the CTs have been forced back. They haven't got much information. The utility now running very dry for them. No smokes available. There we go. 2 frags go in their favor. And here we go. The CTs have arrived onto the map. And what can VP do to get back into this? Time ticking away. 45 seconds on the clock. Bomb is down. They need to find a frag and get some leverage on one of the bomb sites.
And it comes down to Bialy right here, I think. Gets the kill on Astillo? Yes, he does. And then he looks to get the flank. He could be going straight into connector here. James at the back of plateau he isn't going to spot anybody out for now, but he gets caught out in the open. Sniper's there to save the day, though. Backstaff onto Bialy. Taz will take the fight to him, however, and take out James. But it's still a man advantage, and now the 2-man advantage here for Team Immunity going onto it, and they drop the bomb carrier out in the open as well. So Neo doesn't really have any hope here. He has to get up onto this bomb, hope that Rick misses the shot, which he does. Misses 2, in fact. And Neo, is he actually going to get a bomb plant out of this?
That's crazy.
He gets some bonus money in the bank as well.
It's not over yet. This position, that's the shot they needed to hit. Ricky locks it down, but that could have got very messy quickly. Had Neo hit that first shot, all of a sudden we know how strong he can be with the AWP. But there we go, Immunity finally answer back, get around on the CT side for themselves, and 12-7 now, but like we said, the VP money is so strong right now. We saw Pasha with the 12k, you can see all of them rolling pretty high. He'll be able to drop a couple of guns. His comrades who potentially don't have too much, it's going to be Snacks. But the double AWP setup coming now for Immunity. Maybe this is the ace up their sleeve. They can maybe lock down both bomb sites, have the fragging unit working between their calls and see what they can do with it. But this is definitely something, well, here we go. Ricky go for that initial pick as well. That's a great idea for me. I'd actually like that. Go for the first pick and lock it down.
Double smoke, though. Miscommunication there on Immunity.
That's an interesting approach.
That's a little unfortunate. You don't want to be wasting smokes like that at the beginning as well. So now Virtus.Pro, they're going to have even more time. They do get control of A apartments very quickly. Virtus.Pro just completely changing the focus.
Well, they know there's no presence there whatsoever, so Ricky's got the job.
Ricky's got nobody watching his flank either. The timing, that could have been brutal, and he does get caught out in the open, trying to make his way back to the site. Imagine just not in position to support his mate. And while there's a man advantage, and nearly 2 as Imagine gets dropped down to 22 HP, he's kind of dancing on the edge here behind the smoke, using Virtus.Pro's smoke against them. Pasha will find Astillo on the rotate, and that's actually the lurk, and Bialy flips around, takes out Imagine. Snacks will find Sniper.
Let's forget this round ever happened.
Yeah, that's actually just really unfortunate.
Pretty gross stuff, because that double smoke really set the tone for it, right? So that went down, and then the fact that Ricky was taken down without any sort of... Why was no one focusing the long A area whatsoever?
Imagine was behind on the site. He was on the site itself looking towards mid, I guess. But then that means that they were both looking towards mid and nobody was looking towards
apartments. What did they think was going to
apartments.
happen? They had no intel in middle. They had no intel towards long A. They're just hoping no one's going to come there. And the fact they were showing no presence towards B either, you kind of had to assume that was going on. But that's going to be another... After winning one round and losing the subsequent round, that resets everything for Immunity. And you can see they're on a full eco here. Literally nothing to play with, one P250 there in hand. But that goes down straight away. And it's going to be a 4-on-5 now. And this could be all she wrote. This is looking very promising for VP now.
Yep, absolutely. Virtus.Pro, they're going to get control of B site. All 4 players for Team Immunity waiting over in A halls. So there isn't a whole lot that Immunity can hope to do here. They've got 4 USPs, and I guess they just kind of have to cross their fingers and hope that they're going to have the correct setup for the next round when it all comes down to it.
It's not even the setup though. It was just that synergy within the team was non-existent. Like, it was really difficult to watch, and that going into a major and having those horrible errors, like, that's very disappointing. It's something that needs to be rectified and looked at after this game.
No doubt about it. And, well, I mean, again, that we kind of come back to the original point, which is that, you know, Immunity not really expected to win games. This is more of like the recon trip for them, you know, to get the information, to figure out what they're doing wrong and what they need to fix so that they can compete against teams of the like of Virtus.Pro.
It hasn't been a complete stomping. They have won both pistols, but the gun rounds haven't really been there for me. Every gun round they do win, they lose the one after, and that's where it all falls apart once again. But they do. 2 guys survive in vain, really. Don't really get anything from it. But look at the money now. They've got 3,300 about average. 2 guys on 3,500. They have to buy. You can't allow VP to go on a match point here, this sort of situation. So a round they definitely need to win. And there's going to be no kits there. Sniper having no armor. Very difficult round for them.
I thought that Ricky, you know, he would skimp on the nades to get the kit. Honestly, because he had enough for a glass cannon.
They're going to be banking on going for the early frag and trying to lock down the T's before they go to the bomb side. I think we can see some more positional touches there from the CTs towards A, but it looks like a fast execute from VP now, looking for that first kill. Pasha can be very deadly in his position, but he does go down to the hands of Ustillo. Yeah,
very well done there by Ustillo. Pasha caught looking the wrong way, and Bialy drop down room, trying to find an angle, not really going to spot anybody. Flash goes in on Sniper though, and there it is, surprise, surprise, but Bialy will once again open things up. 2 players waiting for him, however, so that's not going to work out, and the man advantage is maintained by Team Immunity. But as far as Virtus.Pro are concerned, I still don't think they're sweating. They still want to take this fight.
It's still, you have to favour them so much as to the buys available. Like, there's nothing left in utility for the CTs. And here we go then. Neo, they're going to make the way to the A side now. This should be it, but Imagine had a different plan, but he gets taken down by Neo. 3-on-2 situation now, and this is almost impossible for the Immunity side. They need to work out whether they save, and it's going to come down to this frag right now.
Shots through to try and create some space, but there it is. Snacks ready and waiting for James. No hope at all.
Especially when they didn't have the kits there and the bomb going down, it probably wasn't even worth the retake. But when it's 14-8, you need to have some sort of hope and believe you can win those rounds, but it's not meant to be here. Ustillo will be the final man. He has got an M4 in hand of taking that into potentially the final round here.
Yeah, man advantage in that kind of situation is just brutal.
Yeah, like they had no flashes to retake the site. They had 1 smoke. I think that's not really that useful on a retake to a bomb site on Cbble. You needed flashbangs to chuck over the roof and then potentially incendiaries as well to flush out the T's to work out where they are.
But it's all the more frustrating when you start off the round with a kill. You take out Pasha, there you go. They lose plateau control. You're thinking, great. But just not meant to be this time. Bialy, once again, bringing it back, making it possible for his team to get onto match point here. This is a best of 1 to sort out who's going to go into the winner match of Group D. And Virtus.Pro, well, they got 7 tries to close out this match. It's looking pretty good for them.
Well, the pitiful buy from the CTs, the shotguns out, the CZs are there, 5-7 on an M4 that was saved. They've got to do something pretty special to get into this one. I'll be interested to see what Ricky can do with the Nova there, but here we go again. VP once again opting towards that B site. Just going for some fast exposure. I think they know they have Immunity right up against the ropes here. They're falling out of the ring right now. It's not even up against the ropes.
And there's no pause to save them, no ref. Well, there it is. James does manage to spot out the 1, but then Bialy, instant headshot, removes him from the map. There's going to be a drop down by Neo, taking out Sniper and drop room. And Ustillo just going to go charging through the smoke, it looks like. And unluckily for him, Pasha's waiting on the other side, not looking the wrong way this time. He takes out Ustillo. That's going to leave it down to Imagine, the last man alive here for Immunity. And it will be 16-8, the final score. Virtus.Pro with a dominant performance on their T side, dropping, what, like a single round. And that is it.
Yeah, very convincing stuff there. Like, the only rounds they've really lost was the pistol ones. They went down 0-3 in the opening rounds there, and that's when we thought, okay, we definitely have a chance here. Immunity maybe have to do something with it, but ultimately the best team did win. They showed that they didn't really had that much respect, a lot of pushing and a lot of aggression, but even then, after losing frags, they came back into it, and it showed to be a very one-sided affair in the end. So congratulations to VP, their opening game is very successful. Immunity, though, showing some signs of hope, and you can see that they're taking it pretty casually there. No one looking too upset.
I think so, yeah. I mean, they have to be. They still have to be pretty pleased, I think, that they managed to pick up both pistols. They managed to actually get some rounds on the board. It wasn't a complete and utter like stomp, which is which is kind of what you could have expected. The Virtus.Pro top tier team like that, but there's the handshake at least. And so there we have it. Virtus.Pro, now they get to wait and see who's going to come at them. Is it going to be Cloud9 or mousesports? And before we go to break, I need to get your opinion on this. Who do you think, Henry, is going to make it through?
It's such a difficult call. Like, both teams can be so hit and miss. Like Cloud9 especially, I think sometimes they can be amazing, they can show up and they can be firing all cylinders, and I really have no idea. If I had to give you a prediction now, I think mousesports have it. I spoke to Chris J last night, and he was giving me some sort of insight.
Really? In that state?
Yeah. Yeah,
you got to take it seriously?
He was telling me this is the most prepared he's ever felt going into a tournament. He thinks GOPRO's done all the homework. They know what the group is going into this. They know Cloud9's a rival of theirs. So I think GOP, being the tactical mastermind he is, I think perhaps he's got something up his sleeve, and for hearing it from the horse's mouth himself, the most prepared they've ever been for an event. So that's what I'm going to base it on. I think they may have the edge going into that series, but it's going to be an amazing one anyway, so I can't wait.
The North Americans won at ESL, ESCA Pro League. Going to be hard to see them not pulling it off here in the groups. Well, I mean, Sean Garrett still owes us, right? We did the work last time. Now it's his turn to step up. Wow. So. And Sean Garrett is also one of those leaders that does do the preparation. The question is whether...
I think he's set the tone for that the last 6 months. I think he's kind of made in-game leaders realise that's the kind of level of commitment you need to bring to the table. Yeah. And that's how you can get success from going from a team that was considered like nowhere near European level to now being within the top 5 in the world. You have to hand it to that man. He really has put in the homework and showed that hard work does pay off. Yeah,
that's exactly it, right? So the fact that now Cloud9 are a true threat, it's what makes this group very interesting. And you said it yourself. You called it out as the most interesting group for yourself. I mean, I kind of have to second it just because you really don't know how it's going to go with the top three.
It's not like you've got all the big names here, like your Envious, your Fanatics,
the favorites
stuff like that.
to take the whole
exactly.
thing.
But you've got so much rivalry here. That's what I love about it, and I think it's going to be some really interesting games going forward now.
Yeah, well, Cloud9, I'm going to put it out there that Cloud9 will be in that winner match. So
okay,
we'll see who.
There we go.
We'll see. Okay, but guys, we're going to take a short break before we get into that match. Not sure which match is going to be coming up on the B stream next, but it should be happening in roughly 20 minutes time. So we'll see you then.